What is up, y'all? My name is Jay the Prodigy, and today I'm going to be showing y'all how to identify where AI is applicable in pretty much any process. So you'll see as soon as I can find my mouse, this is kind of like a broad and all-encompassing flowchart for you to be able to make these decisions, and that was the objective. I mean, there's really no singular one example that I could really give to give people a full scope of what this type of stuff is applicable to. So figure the next best thing is give you the set of questions that you could ask yourself if this is something that you're interested in looking into. So question numero uno, does this task take up a lot of time? If so, probably want to automate it. Why wouldn't you? Number two is, do you repeat it often? I would say 9 times out of 10, a repetitive process is probably one of the best ones to automate. Does it make sense to include AI in each automation? No, not necessarily. Number three, am I just moving information from one place to another? So would this be something like data entry? If that's the case, you really don't, again, need AI in that scenario. You could do that with just traditional automation methods. Question 4, do I have examples of how this task was done before? This is something that's critical. Even if you were to hire Echo, and we were to build you some sort of automation, optimally, there would be examples of how the process is done. Obviously, you want documentation of the process, like the more formal documentation. But you'll see when we get closer to the bottom of the flowchart where being able to have, say, email interactions, for example, being able to have historic interactions saved. Oh my goodness, I can't talk. Okay, I had to edit that because I cannot talk right now. But email interactions, for example, if you have examples of historic email interactions, say you gather the same documents from a bunch of different customers, or there's just a particular step of the customer journey that is essentially always the same. You could always provide it previous examples of those interactions, and the AI would be able to maybe not perfectly replicate it, but it would definitely be a lot closer to obviously the result that you're wanting, assuming your work is satisfactory. So there is that. Question 5, would it be okay if there was small mistakes? Now, with traditional automation, this is less of a concern. However, with AI, I would say this is a valid concern. And this also, again, will be factored into the flowchart. But if this is a business critical process, if this is like, yeah, I want to automate my social media posts or something like that, having the AI just pull some stuff out of thin air would obviously not look too great for your brand. So in scenarios like that, you probably would not want to rely on AI too heavily. Or for legal documentation, for example, if you're trying to write up some sort of agreement or something like that, if the AI misses something, then that could be quite a problem. So let's get into the actual flowchart. So again, do you do it over and over again? And then you'll see here on the sides, I have examples of each step, just to give you a little bit more context. Like I said, I'm big on context. But yeah, do you ever do it over and over again? And so again, just, is it a repetitive process? Sorting emails, answering common questions, checking documents for mistakes, proofreading, stuff like that. Things like that are going to be pretty optimal candidates. So assuming it's not a repetitive process, are you dealing with a lot of information? Are you dealing with really large email interactions where it may take a human a while to read the email and to type up a response and whatnot. Are you going through old records? Are you watching security cameras? This would be leveraging, anything from facial recognition to OCR, optical character recognition, being able to read license plates or whatever type of text from an image, keeping track of inventory, things like that. So just a lot of data or information, things you need to sort, cipher through, things like that. Does it involve reading, writing, or looking at pictures? So like I had just said, things like optical character recognition, facial recognition, responding to emails obviously would be writing, things like that, which I would say probably the majority of tasks kind of fall into this category where we're at right now on the flowchart. And so this could be anything from if you receive unformatted, and what I mean by that is not like a standardized format of document from customers. Say someone might send you a PDF, someone might take a picture of a piece of paper. If you're having interactions like that, AI could assist in that. Sorting through photos, again, or summarizing large documents, or like I had said, a large email maybe. Anything like that. If not, does this task have a clear answer? So obviously a clear answer would be pretty, black and white. Scheduling appointments, is this time available or not? Math calculations, kind of hard to mess those up. If you're a computer, I would not personally rely on an AI to perform complex equations. Just throwing that out there. If that is something you're looking into, generally LLMs at least do not perform the best at math. They're getting better, don't get me wrong, but they're not at a point yet that I would personally implement something LLM related to math. That sounded kind of terrible, but you get the point. So anyways, math, checking if forms are filled out correctly, which you really don't need AI for that. I mean, generally you can, with regex, you can always ensure that, if it's supposed to be an email field, do they have the ampersand and then a list of domains or whatever the case may be. So now we're getting where I had said earlier. So would a mistake be very serious, even if it does have a clear answer? Things like this would be checking for diseases, spotting fraud, safety related things. I mean, there's, I'm sure, a lot more that I'm not thinking of, but like I had said at the beginning, I think when you're implementing AI automation or AI enhanced automation, there does need to be kind of that margin of error in the back of your mind. You got to think like, what if this does not work at least one time? Even if it's out of 1,000,000 times, it doesn't work one time, how critical is that going to be for you? So I'm going to end up following and just going kind of side by side here. But do you need to make tough choices? Now, this one I kind of hesitated on a little bit because it could not be a tough choice, but it could be serious. Obviously, those are two different things, but at least for me, mentally, it's kind of like one and the same. But here I did at least put, if you have examples of those past decisions, if you're able to specify kind of what your end goal is, what are the metrics you're looking for, things like that, to give the LLM or AI context of what exactly you're trying to achieve with that decision, then you could get considerably better results. Obviously, it depends on the particular use case, but that is something to keep in mind. So something like this would be predicting what customers might want to buy, suggesting movies based off what you've watched, planning delivery routes, things like that that the AI can kind of study and learn from. And obviously, in the cases of predicting what customers might want to buy or movies, Amazon and Netflix probably come to mind. They probably have the most advanced models for predicting things like that. So it is possible, and people do it. So again, just something to keep in mind. Now, as you can see here, I did have 4 different potential outcomes. I didn't want to just generalize this too much. I wanted to be very clear. At least if you were to consult me for my expertise, this is what I would tell you. So, just to make this simple, all of these yeses lead directly to AI could help, these first 3. And then once you get down here, assuming it does have a clear answer and a mistake would not be serious, then AI could help. But if it does have a clear answer, but a mistake would be serious, I think AI could assist. Now, what I mean by that is you may not have a full automation. However, you can have the majority of the process automated and a human essentially vetting the result of the process, which obviously would still translate to a considerable impact to your baseline. So on the other side, we've got if it does not have a clear answer, and okay, I actually messed this up. Okay, so this was supposed to have another branch off that said no, then AI might not be able to help, because why would you need AI if it doesn't need to make decisions or anything like that? So, and this should inherently be yes. All right, microscopic, but that works. It's the thought that counts. But so, assuming you do need to make tough choices, again, having examples of those past decisions, being able to give the AI as much context as possible as to the results that you want it to produce, that would, I would say in general, 9 times out of 10, drastically improve the results of the model. And so, if yes, AI could guide decisions, but if not, in some scenarios, you could still use it, but like I'd said, it is probably going to be considerably better, assuming you have a little more information to give it. So, if you answered any or yes to any of these questions, AI might be for you. If not, maybe, who knows? Maybe you should contact Echo Innovations. Maybe you should get a free consultation. Who knows? I'm just saying. But with that being said, my name is Jay the Prodigy. Now you know how you can identify where My name is Jay the Prodigy. Now you can identify where AI may be applicable for you. Have a good one.